179,939 miles on the speedometer. We're looking at 103 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the temperature that's in my car. So it's probably about 100 degrees, maybe 99 degrees. We'll check the temperature outside. We're dealing with 103 temperature Fahrenheit. So it's June 19, 2023. And welcome to the Please Subscribe Show. I'm your host, moi, Cole Spivey. It's not moi Cole Spivey, it's just Cole Spivey, but I'm using the French. Moi. It's a hot one. I got the air conditioner seat on thing right here because these are air conditioning seats. So we're doing the air conditioning seat thing. And I'm decided to drive on Smart. There we go. Sport. You could hear the Sport kick in there for a second. We're driving Smart. And just want to talk about the heat. So it's a hot one. I did not go on the hike today because, well, I didn't want to die. I probably could have got through maybe a lower part of it if I had the Camel Pack water pack on. It's a backpack with water in it. It's got a little sack of water in there, and it's similar to the ones the guys use in the military. It's not exactly the same, but I would have to lessen the load, you know, like maybe lesser clothing. A lot of times I wear a sweat top to keep the sweat out of my eyes. I always wear a hat. If you don't wear a hat, you get burned. I wear a ball cap. It's a tan ball cap one. I don't suggest you use a darker color ball cap. You'll sweat like a pig. Any dark colors in this heat is it's a way to lose weight. I have lost weight. I am not weighing in yet. I do have a specific date in mind to weigh in. I'm not going to tell you that secret date. My last weigh-in, of course, you know, we went through that and everything. And then there's steps. I do count steps on my Apple. Well, it's not Shuffle. It's an iTouch. It's like a Shuffle, but they call it an iTouch. It's got a little screen on it. It looks like a little miniature iPhone. And that one's actually starting to count correctly because I measured everything in my car, and I was going 7 miles on my hike. I had lessened it because of the weather, the hot heat wave that we're going through. We're going through a heat wave. I lessened it to about 6 miles, and I'm on a strict diet. I'm the only part of the diet that I'm not doing well on is the soda, because the caffeine keeps me alert. I got to make sure your food gets to your doorstep as quickly as possible, and I have to pay attention to a lot of my own personal protocol, making sure when I pick it up, how I pick it up, how I get to your doorstep, because we do get disciplined. Okay, you think this job is just, oh well, you know, I just do whatever I want. That's what I used to think when I first started, but I realized you cannot be that way. You have to be a better worker than you would if you had a real person like sitting next to you. Like Linda was one of my bosses, and she would do runs with me and find all these things to correct when I was doing a delivery. Okay, now we're going to switch over and talk about Hollywood. Hollywood, okay. Now, I had been to Hollywood before. I lived in Long Beach. I worked in the Majestic with Jim Carrey. I worked on the X-Files. I was on the episode 3 Words, which is, I believe it's season 8. See, it was season 8, episode 16, called 3 Words. I played Doggett's thermal image. I was basically like a body double. On the Majestic, I was, in background. I was directed by Frank Darabont. He told me how to walk or the energy to use and all this stuff. And so that's still direction. I was getting directed by one of the greatest directors of all time, Frank Darabont. He directed Green Mile. He also directed the Google's #1 movie, Shawshank Redemption. It's considered one of the best time movies of all time. So I happened to step into a big time luck trap in Hollywood, and I was on my way. But there was something about my academic background, me being at University of North Texas and also studying at Texas Wesleyan and having an academic in theater arts. I thought, well, why don't we try for an MFA? Why not play it safe and get the MFA out of the way? So I did, and I got accepted to the Actor Studio when I was at the Actor Studio West. And James Lipton flew down and saw one of my auditions and decided to take me up to New York. And boy, let me tell you, my life changed. I arrived in New York in August of 2001. The next month was the end of the world, basically September 11th. And then I continued studying at the Actor Studio Drama School, which is right in there with the New School University, right before they switched over to Pace University. There happened to be a student there that was getting ready to graduate, or he was already graduating, named Bradley Cooper, who became one of our big-time iconic stars. I got luck like all around me. But I fall into unfortunate circumstances, okay? It sometimes becomes a series of unfortunate events because of how crazy I get, and I have an identity crisis at times that I have to work on. I don't know where identity crisis comes from, but it just happens. And you get better when you start to remember things, and you remember who you are, and you remember things like this, and you recall things. And I think the vlogging helps because I can see who I am and what I'm doing and the reality. I'm drinking tea. It's basically like mint tea kind of thing, or it's an herbal tea. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head to Jason's Deli, and I'm going to get a salad because I'm sticking to my diet. I feel better. I feel better, guys. I feel much better that I'm not eating fast food. Don't go around eating tacos. Well, at least they're health food tacos. But don't go around eating like Jack in the Box tacos and McDonald's and all that. Don't do that. You'll feel like crap. Don't go to gas stations and eat hot dogs all the time. I unsubscribed from Adam the Woo, Jordan the Lion, and the Carpetbagger just recently. All three of them. So it was hard to do. I had to hit block. It did not allow me to block them out of my life. Hitting block does not work. I don't know what block does. So my next move was I had to do some research, to find out how do I get these guys out of my life, because they eat too many hot dogs. They're always at Disney World. They're always, having all this fun. And I want to go out and have that fun. And the next thing you know, I'm gaining weight. So what I did was I looked through my wall on YouTube. YouTube has a wall. So that's like, it'll recommend things to you. That's how you block them. What you do is you put don't recommend. And they'll get you, listen, they'll get you. They'll find something interesting to get you trapped. And if I went back to Jordan Line for a little while, and then I'll unsubscribe to him again. I go back. I'll find him somehow. But you have to put don't recommend. And then they just disappear from your whole life. Because YouTube is accountable and responsible for who they recommend in your life, because you are logging in to a YouTube site under your name. So you want to be recommended certain people for certain reasons, and to fit your lifestyle, to fit your experience in your life, for what you want to perceive. Now, I'm still recommended to Scott on Tape, so I still watch Scott on Tape stuff, because he doesn't chat out on hot dogs, and he does like some serious crime investigation, and he also does, he does some filming locations every once in a while, but his stuff is kind of serious. He's kind of the CNN of the group. So I still subscribe to Scott on Tape. He occasionally hangs out with the Woo and things like that, so I get to see them on his show. And they usually don't pig out in front of him and stuff like that. The other guy that I subscribe to is the Dearly Departed. I really do like his show. Scott Michaels, that's his name, Scott Michaels. I like his show. He talks about James Dean. He sometimes talks about Charlie Manson and the Sharon Tate things, and all the crime stuff that went on in Hollywood, which I think is great, interesting, great stuff. It's like, it really gets your attention. So Michael Scott's, I do subscribe to him. So some of the people that I found from the big guys, like Adam the Woo's the big guy, and Jordan, some of those guys, I stuck to keep watching them, So I found some cool stuff by hanging out with them for a year or two, And I think I'm going to continue with Dearly Departed. I think it's a cool show. It's advancing, and it's a cool show to watch. I just like to tell you, like, everything that I'm doing, to get you an idea of who I am and what I do, because these are the things I do. I wake up, sometimes I watch a vlog, I go on a hike, or what sometimes I do is depends on how early I wake up. Usually what I do is I wake up, I go on a hike. It takes me about 2 hours or an hour and a half, at least an hour and a half, now that the weather's gone crazy. Then I shower, I get ready for work, I watch a vlog. Okay, I like vlogs. They're full of content, they're like a documentary, and they give me information, and I'm an information kind of person. So I watch that, and then what I do is, I go and get a salad, and then I find food to drop off at your doorstep. We're going to go to Jason's Deli, all right? And here is, I don't see him very often, but there he is. That's Critter, the cat. He's my air freshener. His name is Critter.
They lay flat on the ground. He did it for a little bit. Usually they go to like concrete, or they'll lay on it to cool their bellies. There he is. Just completely prone. Might be an interesting thing to study for people that are in the heat. Like straight down on the ground. There he goes. Look how he's kind of shaking back and forth. That's amazing. I'm trying to get just a little closer. is what it looks like right here.
All right, welcome to my salad. First thing, plate. Egg. Get rid of the fat. So we have a yolk, which is cholesterol. Okay, so it's cholesterol. I thought it was fat, but I was told by someone that it was actually cholesterol. So get rid of the cholesterol. No cholesterol. That's what I was getting mixed up on. For some reason, I thought that it was fat, but it does. I think it does have fat in it. I'm gonna look at it because this does not. This is pure protein. But it's mostly non-fat. So each egg has 4.5 grams of fat. Each egg does. And it's in the actual yolk. Entirely in the yolk. It's not in this. Is non-fat. This is fat. I just read about it. Alright, I wanted to look at some guitar licks. Well, guitars. Electric guitars. And check them out here. 4-star Run Star for the album War Fights War. Looks like my advertisement was removed by some crazy lady, and she's like sending me all these emails wanting to sue me for the song that we did over there called I Lost Control, and she only says one word on it, and that was about it. And she took down my advertisement. She was one that called me, so be careful when you advertise over here. There's some nuts that will respond to the advertisement, and she's, well, I'm not blaming anyone, you know, because of this. But I'm not trying to judge, but the song has not made millions of dollars. If the song makes millions of dollars, then I'll meet her in court. But I have no idea who that lady was. She's agreed to be backup vocals in a song. This looks interesting right here. Looking for a metal band that's like Pantera. Good luck on that one. Why would you even want to model a band after Pantera? I don't even understand why anybody even really likes them. They're okay. They're just too dang complex. Pantera was the most complex band in the world. I mean, you would not want to model your band after Pantera. Not that Pantera didn't exist, but I could see maybe modeling after Metallica. But you can't model anything after Pantera. They're too much in their own world. Anyway, bragging about his son playing keyboard, like his son's going to be an Eddie Van Halen or a Van. Looks like they're having a class in there. That's a dude that gets really mad if you get into guitars right there. He gets really upset with you. He can try to like discipline you and stuff like that. I'm gonna look on the electric right now. This one looks cool over here. They got commercial music playing. This is Black Star stuff right here. It's a cool little title. That's kind of cool though. How they put in the commercial music. So you have to keep playing so you don't get their commercial song. very Texan. There's nothing more commercial on this planet than Texas. They live on commercialism because all the Republicans that live here. We need to get those puppies out of here. And the Democrats, too. Just take over the new Liberty Party. We'll try to set it right here. Because they don't want to listen to your attempt. You know what I mean? Like, we already got this band over here that's already made it. Can't hear your commercial music. commercial music, so he won't turn off his commercial music, so he has to come over here and turn down the amp so that he can play his commercial Republican. They're obviously gonna, it's like an example of an average Republican. So he can play his hillbilly commercial rock. They should ban commercial music from Guitar World. They could play it live on the guitars, but not through that crap right there. That's just retarded, dude. There's a slight moment in the commercialism. Slight, like 2 seconds of it. And it turns it right back on. Controlled by the same people that have been controlling it for years. way from New Mexico. We got one at CircleK. We'll be there at 2.1 miles, 6 minutes, about 5:44. Really, really good if you're making a aquavelva. You need Sprite. You got the carousel and the gin and the vodka. All right, looks like some winner got 12 packs of Marble Gold Kings in a box and some candy. We're gonna take your packs of Marble Gold, 3.8 miles, 9 minutes. We'll be there at 6:03 in the PM. Checked up on Linda. She's doing much better, so I'm very proud of her. Sounds like she hasn't really had a one drink today at all, so it might be a miracle. Her prayers may be coming true. Anyway, we'll be there to drop off your cigarettes in just a moment after we get the appropriate age identification. All right, this is the part that always reminds me of a George Lucas film, especially films like Star Wars. Kind of sounds like it too. I think he based Star Wars sound whenever they're in space fighting in their aircraft. I think he, or their spacecraft. I think he based it on like Highway. Well, it was spacecraft and aircraft. Because when they went into the planet, it became an aircraft. When they were in space, it was a spacecraft. This is ID check. I'm gonna have to ring the doorbell because I gotta check ID. Dude's nice, huh? In this business, we do deal with cash, and every once in a while you do get a tip, okay? Don't panic, don't ask for change, don't say it's too much. I said it was too kind. You can say it's too kind. Every once in a while, if you do get a tip, you do get someone that has some class, and you get like a 20. So, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. Accept it. Accept the tip. But you might want to get a tip book to write off on the taxes. So you can get like a tip book. Like I said, don't panic or anything. Accept the tip and just say thank you. And you know, it's expected in this type of business. You do get tips. You can keep a tip book, or what you can do is just keep the deposit slip that you make if you go by and make a deposit at the ATM. Just keep those deposit slips. I keep all my slips pretty much in here, right here, and then I transfer these to an accordion style file. Those accordion files, they start here and then they go there. So, like I said, you will get tips. Don't panic. Accept the tip and just say thank you, or that's too kind, is what I usually say. I do want to tell you guys a story. About tipping. When I was with Angel, when I used to live with Angel and the kids, this was with David and Elizabeth before Gwendolyn came. We lived in a little house called West Rochelle, and we did do Uber Eats. Like we'd have Uber Eats delivered to us. I like using them because I get coupons. I got a coupon from my Uncle John to get a free meal off of Uber Eats. That's how I got involved in a lot of this. And so I would order a thing from Quiznos. It was always a toasted sandwich. I love me some Quiznos. My favorite is Schlotsky's, but there was a place that wasn't too far. I could get the toasted Quiznos. I really liked it. They'd bring it to my door. A lot of times I'd only tip $1, and that's not good. Now I'm doing this kind of stuff. See what I'm saying? What comes around goes around. So this guy would bring me a Quiznos all the way across town with a soft drink and everything, and I really enjoyed that. And I'd only tip him like $1. And then I think one time I gave him a thumbs down because I was upset that the sandwich was kind of cold. And now I do this kind of work. So you want to tip your delivery driver, okay? Because if you don't tip your delivery driver, you're going to find yourself dropping food at doorsteps, just like your delivery driver. So be sure to tip your delivery driver. That way, you don't have to be a delivery driver. So tip them. Fair's fair. Door to your doorstep. All right, Thai Select coming up. Thai Select coming up. Thai Select will take us 0.6 miles. We'll be there in 2 minutes to pick up your food. Arrival time will be 6:16 in the p.m. Probably be ordering around 6:18 in the kitchen. All right, head your way.